It's been quite some time since I made a video. I've been working on my website, so I haven't really had a chance to make one, and I figured now was a good enough time as any, as I'm off today from work, so I really wanted to show you guys what I was been working on. These are some of the finished ones. These are the Domino pendants I showed you before, but they're totally finished now. I just need to, you know, put a necklace on them, but they're totally coated in a heavy, thick layer of resin. So they're super shiny, and I don't know if you can see, there's quite a decent sized dome of resin on top, so that's one of them. And if you can see on my paper cutter there, I've got a ton of them drying still, of, you know, pendants and other stuff. So here's the other one. I did the same in the back. And anyway, I really just wanted to show you guys how I did them, because I had quite a few comments on them, so I figured why not. Here is a domino, and what my husband did for me is he drilled a hole in the top, and I'm using stainless steel eye hooks, so they won't tarnish, and they're pretty sturdy. These are old, like, Bakelite type dominoes, so anyway, well, let me show you. First, what I like to do, because the surface on these is quite slick, and the side that I'll be stamping on, I kind of like to just rough up a little bit. And this is just the Tim Holtz sandpaper thing. So I just kind of rough it up a little. And it helps if you go both ways, kind of get a crosshatch pattern on it. And then just wipe off the dust. And I'm sure you can't see that, but it's pretty scratchy. And then what I like to do is make sure they're totally clean, and I take my alcohol and just apply some to my little handy wipe thingy here, which I'm going to do off camera. And really wipe this domino down. And while I'm working with the domino, I'm going to go ahead and remove the eye hook. It's much easier to pre-drill your hanger piece, so just in case something happens and you don't drill right, or you don't get it quite in the center and you want to toss it, you haven't put all the work into the pendant. This is going to leave your hands really dry. So just let it dry, which will dry really quickly. And what you want to take is your Tim Holtz alcohol ink applicator, and just apply yourself a new piece of felt. And I don't have a huge amount of alcohol inks. Maybe like 12 alcohols. So I don't have a huge amount of choice. But I'm going to pick out, let me see. I think I'll pick the butterscotch. And the wild plum. And the stream. And what you want to do is take your ink and just kind of apply some to the felt. It helps, instead of doing it in like one big glump, to do it in kind of a random pattern. And normally I would be doing this on my Teflon mat, but my tripod sticks, the magnetic feet stick to this black mat, so it's the only way I can do a video. Okay, and what I like to do, I don't know if this is the actual way you're supposed to use this, but this is what I do. This is the alcohol blending solution. And be aware your hands are going to get really dirty. And I just apply some to the felt. Not a lot, just enough to lubricate it. Okay, then I take the Domino, and I actually work on the sides first. It's a lot easier. So I just kind of, and this is kind of hard looking at the camera screen, but I just kind of pounce. And the more layers you apply, the darker it gets. Make sure you get the corners. They have a tendency to want to stay lighter. And if you were to leave your silver or your bale piece in while you're doing this, you'd likely turn your metal a different color, and I actually prefer the pieces to stay silver colored. So, and then the sides are done, really simple, and I go ahead and quickly do the back. Some of them I have taken a Sharpie and painted, actually, is it a Sharpie? This king size permanent marker, and painted the back and the sides with it, and then went over it with a Adirondack dauber. But I find that marker leaves a scent that lasts a really long time. It took about 2 weeks for the scent to come out of it for me to be able to coat it. I was afraid to coat it until it was non-smelly. So I have been opting on coating the whole thing with you kind of want to let it dry. And you can take your heat gun to it, but it kind of gets dull. And if you're going to coat it with resin, it's not going to really matter. but I prefer just to let it air dry a little bit. Okay. And the front. And depending on what you're going to stamp or put on the front, you can be as heavy-handed with the alcohol ink or not. That's about where I'm going to keep it. Sometimes I like to go back and put in a little interest. And that'll do it for the alcohol ink. And I'm going to let this dry for about 5 minutes and I'll be right back.